On this episode, we are chopping off the hands that thieve, and no, we aren't talking about Victory Records here. We're talking about the band that is numb to haters or might be somewhere in the between.
Oh.
It's time to do Streetlight Manifesto on Checkered Past, the Ska'd cast.
What the fuck you doing with your life these days? What the fuck you doing with yourself? What the fuck you doing with your life these days? What the fuck you doing with yourself?
What up, Checkerheads? Welcome to Checkered Past, the Ska'd cast with Celine and Rob. The show where Ziggy Stardust and Ska'd Insane explore the history and impact of a different band each episode and hope to bring in new fans along the way. I'm Rob, and this is my sister and co-host, Celine.
Bowie.
Yeah, I did a Bowie.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
It was okay.
Yeah, what? Why Bowie? Just because we talked about Bowie?
Yeah, I think that was what it was. I actually can't remember.
What about Jareth the Scoblin King?
Okay.
That's his name. And thank you.
Oh, yeah?
It's actually really good if you're a Labyrinth fan. You'd be way more impressed if you actually...
I would be. I don't know.
I would be.
I would be impressed if I was a Labyrinth fan.
Yeah, it was very confusing as like an 8-year-old girl.
What was?
Jareth
Right.
the Goblin King.
It was
It's not
confusing?
confusing now. Yeah, it was just I was like, why am I so attracted to him? Then he had the relationship with a younger woman child. And I was like, that could be me though. I want steal my baby. Daddy.
Did you have a moment with
Steal my baby daddy. Steal my baby daddy.
Steal My Baby Daddy? That sounds like a different thing.
Okay, anyways.
Did you have the same thing with like Legend?
Yes, absolutely. The
Yeah.
sexy Tim Curry devil man.
Suit?
Yeah.
Also with a younger woman.
And I would
assume.
absolutely touch a unicorn. Like, I'd have
Yeah,
to.
I would have too. Like that's the movie is rife with problems. Like, of course you touch the fucking unicorn.
Yeah.
I would have done it so fast.
Aw, little Elvin Tom Cruise, a little baby Cruise. Pre-Scientology?
Was it?
I don't know. Who knows?
No, I feel like he was born into it. I don't know. I think L. Ron Hubbard was his godfather.
So what's your life these days? Rob? You doing anything fun?
No? This? Is this fun?
Really? Doing a catch-up thing?
We don't do the catch-up thing
Oh yeah,
anymore.
that's people didn't like
You're
it.
checked out. People didn't like it. We were told
No
very
one
specifically.
cares about our
Nobody
lives,
cares
which is
about our
fine.
lives.
Okay,
Just talk
well,
about
I
ska.
am gonna go see some fun live shows though. Live music is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That's on topic.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go see Amel and the Sniffers.
Yeah, we're seeing Amel, and then I have tickets to Orville Peck.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to go to Vancouver Pride and see Orville Peck again and Big Frida.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you see Angeria when she was here?
No, I
No.
missed out
Okay.
pretty hard on that one. I'm pretty sad about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up.
No. I don't know.
And
It's fine.
then, yeah, life is getting better. I think
Yeah, it feels better. At least it's spring.
it feels better.
It feels
It
better.
feels better right now. Less sadness.
Well,
The Celine minute. I'm gonna
The
just
Celine
do
minute?
that. I'm gonna take a
Celine
Celine it. We're gonna have a Celine it every episode. We're not gonna do a 30-minute catch up anymore, but we'll have a Celine it.
Celine it. This
Yeah.
is our Celine it. Uh,
Celine it.
oh, you have a song.
Celine
Of course you have a
it.
song.
Boop.
We are absolutely thrilled to introduce our guests. They're the singer, guitarists, and songwriters for the indie pop rock band Megawave, whose new album Rainbow Heartache is available everywhere right now. We have Michelle and Diglo here. Hi.
Howdy.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, why don't we talk about your checkered past? So, we're here to talk about ska music. What is your history with ska? Mike, let's start with you.
Well, I thought I never actually I've been in a ton of different bands. I started out playing like heavy music and I then started playing with Megawave, and I think we have a lot of like ska influence, but I feel like I never was in like a ska project, but it's always been like one of my favorite types of music.
What was your
And,
first band? How was your entry point?
It probably was. I know it's probably something a lot of people say, but it probably was Real Big Fish. I don't remember where I heard them. the first
That's
time?
actually not a super common one.
No, yeah.
No.
It's usually my dad's two-tone records and Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah.
Skater.
I actually never played the Tony Hawk games. I've played them at like other people's houses, but like I never actually like owned them. But I forget where I heard it first, but I remember being like so intrigued by it. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Turn the Radio Off was my first I feel like that it was definitely Turn the Radio Off and Big D and the Kids Tables. How It Goes were like my I think my two like really big like first me delving into ska and ska punk.
Yeah,
Those are critters.
2003. How It Goes, right around then. Does that sound about right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I feel like-
it might have been. I think they might have been on Strictly Rude by the time. But I remember that was I remember borrowing it from my friend. He had How It Goes, and then I remember that being like the two like really big entry points into ska for me.
And that LAX song on How It Goes was like everywhere for a period. Like that probably got them those headlining dates on Warped Tour, was the fact that LAX was everywhere.
Yeah,
and that's not even a ska song.
I know, that's just like a straight up like ripper punk song. I would say also definitely Warped Tour was a big introduction to me to like live ska. Like, because there was a lot of bands, like there were a lot of ska bands I wanted to see. Like I went to see like Real Big Fish and I forget who else. But then there was also a lot of other bands I listened to, like heavier shit, like Evergreen Terrace. And then I also went to go see like I think 2008 was the first year I went. And
how you must be similar ages. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh,
and
I'm a little older.
I'm 33.
Okay, yeah, I'm like turning 32, so we're all very like similar.
Yeah.
These are oldies. They're a bunch of fucking old. I don't know.
So
Rob's
what are you
around
talking
like
about?
I don't know 46. Joey's 50.
Joey's 50.
Ish.
Year-old Joey. Ish. Give or take like 15 years.
Give or take 15 years. Joey's
He's either
around
50
around
or 70.
65. Joey retirement, Joey.
You have no. You'd be very
Such a
broke
chiller, dude. Not possible.
if you were
Get off mic. Stop
retired.
talking.
I think I think that Warped Tour, I think it was 2008. I think that might have been the first time experiencing ska in like a live setting. That definitely like drew me more to it. It actually the first band I remember seeing, like my first time like skanking. It actually wasn't Real Big Fish. It was this band, Ore Ska Band.
Hell
yeah.
I saw them too.
Yeah, they were. I forget. I don't know. I don't know if I knew them at the time, or like one of my friends I was going with like knew them, and I was just like, I just saw them setting up, like, oh, this looks cool, and I just remember having like the most fun time ever. Like they just had like the most like. They just had the most like energetic and fun show. I think it was my
That's
first
what
time
sold
skanking,
me,
too.
and that's what keeps me in is live
I think-
shows. Like I'll
yeah, I
always
think-
any ska band that comes through, I will pretty much go see because I know it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think that was also what really drew me into was I feel like I at the time also bringing up I was also huge into like metalcore and like deathcore and like metal and shit like that. But I feel like the one thing I enjoyed more about ska shows was like I could like mosh and have fun without worrying of getting like the shit beat out of me. Like it was the same like level of energy, but it wasn't as like I guess violent.
I think that's why there's a lot of femme people into it, is just because it is like a safer space and you're not going to get your skull crushed in. People pick you up. I still do fall all the time, but people pick you up and it's like not as scary.
When we went to go see Eichler's Best of the Worst and Kill Lincoln, I remember just like during Best of the Worst, I was going just like super hard. I remember like falling like right on my ass. I remember like everybody was like, everyone like stopped what they were doing and like grabbed and picked me up.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also, and not even just like, it just, there's like a very good like sense of, especially now, like definitely now more than in the past, there's such a good sense of community around it. And like
absolutely,
even though we're not like a ska band, mainly because of our like stream, like we have so many friends in the ska community, and like some of them have turned into real friends, and some of them like we've like met like so many different people that way. I think that's definitely what keeps like drawing me to it.
The people are great.
Yeah, we refer to you as Ska's best friend.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think on In Defense of Ska, like in the description, because it was Kenny and Beth talked about being on our show. I said their experience with Ska's best friend, Megawave. I feel like that's like that's a good descriptor.
That's great.
I think it's pretty accurate. Like it definitely influences our music, but not like sorry. I was saying
I was just gonna compliment I listened to you guys like the first kind of like really listen to it, and it's like super up my alley. And I like
awesome.
really dig
Thank
your,
you.
but you can hear the ska influence for sure.
Yeah, it's not like super apparent.
Album.
Yeah,
there is. Yeah.
I can tell you used to play like heavy music because of the way that your guitar playing is. Like it definitely comes out. There's a lot of like noodly, yeah.
I see the Weedly
noodly
hands.
fingers.
Also,
Thank
your
you.
vocals are crazy. Like you're such a good singer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
it sounded
think
so
so
good.
too. I think I have a very talented fiance.
So maybe we should shift
I
over
say
to you,
that.
Michelle. Like, what's your history with ska music?
Thank you.
My friends in musical theater introduced me to ska at first.
That makes sense.
Definitely my mom listened to ska, but like I didn't know the word for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't know the word for it. And then I was in The Sound of Music, and I was playing the oldest sister in The Sound of Music,
Oh.
Liesel. And the guy that was playing Rolf had all of us in his car, me and my ex-boyfriend at the time.
Boo.
And
No, I'm
he
just
he actually put on Streetlight. That was
Yay!
my introduction to
Boo,
ska.
yay.
But I was already like, my mom used to listen to No Doubt. She used to listen to The Police, you know, like a little bit of everything.
And so what drew you in? So what was it about Streetlight that like sunk the whole thing in?
I think I would say it was probably the lyrics at the time. Like I didn't
Totally.
like I didn't really listen to anything punk really at that time, and the lyrics were hard hitting for me at that age too.
That's what drew me into them as well. Like a
lyrics are
moment
very
of
intense.
silence.
Yeah.
Being a little weird, like, you know, misfit and punk kid, it's for you. And you're like, this is for me and these are all my feelings.
And they
Yeah,
tell stories.
exactly.
Like everything's like a little bit of a story. Like
Yeah, exactly.
weaving tales.
And it's like anthemic and it's very like, fuck you. That's how
do
I
ha-
feel.
Yeah, I do have a fun one of the reasons that like I felt like we have like an attachment to Streetlight is there's a fun origin story of us first meeting was when we before we started dating. Like this was almost 10 years ago at this point.
This was 10 years
Ooh.
ago.
Over 10
Yeah,
years ago, but
we worked for a supermarket.
yeah, it's called Wallbams. There's probably one
Ooh.
in Canada that I would know
And
of.
I got
It's-
transferred.
it's out of
from
business now.
My store got closed, and I got transferred into Diglo's store.
Ooh.
And they had us wearing like stupid like button down shirts. But then like when your shift was over, you'd like take off your button down shirt and like clock out. And I remember like standing near the time clock and Diglo clocking out, and he was wearing a Streetlight Manifesto shirt, and he walked by and I was like, oh, nice shirt. And
And
like he
Aw.
totally ignored me.
I just went like, oh, I basically was just like, oh, thanks, and I just like left. I didn't like start a conversation, or like I didn't like start like continue a conversation with this person that was like interested in me. I was just like, I think I was just like, I must have just had like a bad day. I was like, oh, cool.
I'm also
Thanks.
picturing you like the situation, like Michelle looking over and you're like slowly, like slow motion,
Yeah.
unbuttoning your shirt to release a Streetlight Manifesto, and you like flip your hair a bit, and then Michelle's like, "Nice shirt," and you're like, "Oh, thanks, bye."
Oh no, this girl's interested in me. I think
Run
we still have it
fast.
somewhere. It was
yeah, no, I have that shirt now.
yeah, it doesn't fit me anymore. Yeah, we
Speaking of
kept
the
it.
hand-me-down T-shirt,
Yeah, it's the.
You're like,
it
"That's
was
all I came for. I was trying to get this shirt."
your mission was complete. You ended up getting the exact. You
You
ended up
can
getting
go
the shirt.
now.
I think it was the one with it was one of the ones with like the the music video for Would You Be Impressed with the little animals.
the lion.
Yeah, it was like a one with the little lion playing the guitar.
That's
And
fine.
I think that shirt has so much like said. That was like the first interaction we ever had.
Aw.
We're bonded by our love of ska.
When me and Joey kind of like first got together, I asked him later on, I was like, "Oh, did you like think I was cute when you saw me?" And he said, "Well, you weren't wearing like a tight going out dress or anything."
What?
It's very he doesn't remember. I like
No,
to
there's
tell
no
him
way he remembers
did.
that.
He doesn't remember
No,
saying it.
I believe
was
he said it. But I also believe he doesn't remember saying it.
I
All
think he
that could be
didn't want to
true.
be like, oh, like I thought you looked. I think he was trying to not be creepy, but then it just came out offensive.
It just came out mean.
And I was like, okay, I have to wear like a spandex dress. That's all Joey likes, just tight going out dresses.
I met my wife working
work?
at HMV. Yeah, that's a record
Her
store.
Majesty's voice.
Oh.
His Majesty's voice.
His Majesty. Oh, Her
Yeah.
Majesty's voice.
Nice.
But it's it's like a whatever. What's version Tower, I guess.
Yeah, which is gone now.
Yeah, HMV is gone as well.
Oh, rest in peace.
Good riddance. That place is a nightmare to work at. I worked in shipping receiving, and she worked on the floor. And
Woo!
I think I made a joke. I made a bad joke about how I was a remora swimming in someone's wake, and she thought that was funny. And then some guy came up to me later, talked about how excited he was to watch the A-Team movie. And he's like, "You gonna go watch the A-Team movie, Rob?" And I said, "Why the fuck would I watch that piece of shit?"
And then Ariane's like, I
Ariane's
love
like,
this
"I love
man.
And then I look back and I was like, "Man, that was kind of an asshole."
She's like, I love a cynical hater.
Love
Had my like
an
mohawk
angsty
like
boy.
dripping down.
An
Like,
angsty boy, yeah.
I was listening to a lot of like metal and punk music, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
feel like
but she was like way crustier than me, like way crusty. Punk.
Yeah, Ariane was punk.
Yeah, she was like, a real punk, and I was like a fake punk. Like, I was kind
You
of
were
a fake
ska
punk.
punk.
I would like go to the studio and I'd play like Miss Pac-Man while everybody was getting wasted on like.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm right here. It was also Jack Daniels, not just Lucky.
Oh, that's all I remember being there.
Anyways,
Yeah, I think when we first met, I would say when we first met, I was like she was playing in a different band. I was playing in like a proggy metalcore band at the time. So like, I feel like we were like playing very different. I feel like that was also what drew us together, was that we like we're both musicians, even though we were playing like radically different types of music.
that's sweet. What kind of band were you in, Michelle?
I was in a pop punk band.
That's
like alt
fun.
rock, pop punk. The drummer of Megawave was also in her old band. Too.
Oh, fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a very cute
I came
origin
from-
story.
She was the pop punk origin story. I was in like the proggy metalcore the path, and somehow it ended up in Megawave.
Yeah.
And
That's
so like,
interesting.
and if we listen to the album, like sort of oddly kind of reflects that, I guess.
Absolutely.
So what's
Yeah.
it does kind of come off that way. Like, what's the origin of Megawave then? Like, was it that your two bands kind of smashed together, or was it like a vision that this is what you guys were going to do?
Originally, it was a different. It was called we were called Mega Weapon, and I wasn't in the band. It was I was basically like a live like bass player, because I was in like a different prog metal band at the time that was like taking up more of my time.
When Megawave first started, it was myself and Mike's friend from high school, Andrew.
Okay.
And then our drummer,
And
Mike.
our drummer, Mike.
Mhm.
And
And I was
we
playing
did,
bass.
when we did first start, we did want to include a horn section, and we were like, let's play ska, but it did not work out. Like,
We can't get all these horn players.
we couldn't, no. But that is why I did start playing the keyboard, because I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll include some like organ in the band, and kind of.
So are you self-taught on the keys?
I am self-taught. Yeah.
That's fun. I always like think that would be okay. What's your finger span like? You look like you might have small hands like me. Nah, average or little? It's hard to tell. I need a banana.
Small issue. Let's get a banana,
A banana
for scale.
Yeah.
Is that a non sequitur? Was that just you announcing something? You just
I
said
need
around?
a banana.
Just shut up things you need in the middle of podcast.
I am a banana. That's like a deep cut internet thing.
Oh,
Remember?
I remember that. I remember
What?
that.
Michelle, you also play the keytar.
I do play the
Yes.
guitar.
That's very fun and cute.
It's actually right here. Okay.
Guitars are sweet.
Guitars are
see.
sweet.
They're
They're also they're
it's so
also
pretty.
super metal. I don't know.
Very
if you,
metal.
I don't know if you listen to a lot of metal bands that play guitars, but that's a metal thing for sure.
Yeah, there's all. I feel like you see it more in power metal than anything else. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Like Jens Johansson from Malmsteen's band, he
Or
plays the
Sonata
guitar.
Arctica.
Sonata plays
Yeah.
the mean guitar.
Yeah,
Dream
we.
Theater too.
Yeah,
Dream
I
Theater.
think He's got like
Yeah.
a bunch of crazy shit. Like he has this keyboard that's like a circle that like he'll like spin around and it'll go all over the place.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
it
it's
weird to translate it from sitting down and playing it to standing up and playing it? Is it quite different? A keyboard to a guitar?
It is a little different. I feel like I'm still like years later trying to figure out like I feel like when you play a keyboard standing up and you have like the microphone, like you can like glance down and look
Yeah,
at,
well, that's what I'm like. You
you're
can't
doing.
look at it. You can't look at it at all.
Like looking down and singing is so hard.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that's what I was like. I don't understand. Like, as someone who's not a musician at all, that sounds wild. I can't even barely like sing and play the tambourine at the same time.
It is definitely hard. And
I kind of want to
avoid
learn
it like the plague.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've decided I want to learn the lute, mostly to spite Joey.
That'd be pretty cool. You don't see many people playing the lute.
No, and it's only to cover "Toss a Coin to the Witcher."
It's only for that.
Literally. Oh, Valley of Plenty.
Yeah, I feel like whenever we play shows and like we break out like the you sometimes she'll play it upright and sometimes she'll play it like the guitar, but like people always get so excited, like, oh my god, there's a guitar.
It's a very like hot thing to do. It looks great.
The guitar looks
I
great.
think so too.
It's a rock star move.
Yeah. Edgar Winter.
That's a poor pull.
I've
Poor pull, Joey.
for years now I've been wanting to like dress it up the way Lady Gaga dresses up her guitars.
That would be pretty
Amazing.
But I
Thing.
just don't know how to like go about it. Like just want to like put my
Fringe.
card outfits.
Fringe.
Oh, that's a
Fringe
cool
would be
idea.
so cool.
A
A
cowboy
fringe
guitar.
guitar.
Cowboy guitar.
Holographic fringe.
That would be sick.
Sparkly cowboy guitar.
If Orville Peck had a guitar.
I was about to say that if Orville Peck was a guitar.
Orville Peck
Peck was a
big.
guitar.
That's
Oh,
better.
so it needs a mask on it then too, right?
I have spent a lot of time with my friend trying to find what he looks like. Pretty sure he's the drummer of New Sensei. The tattoos line up.
Oh, okay.
We know he's hot, but you just
We know he's hot. We know.
duh.
Duh.
It's insane.
When do you find out he's Hank 3?
well,
Hank 3 is not an attractive guy. And he's been gone for like 10 years. So at the timeline.
is he
lines
dead?
up- Oh, Hank 3's still alive. He lives in like some like
I have a picture with him.
yeah.
I got him to sign my passport, but I can't. Is politics okay?
Hank 3?
Hank 3's okay, but the other Hanks no.
No, Hank 2 is bad.
Bad. That's the bad
Hank 2 is
one.
bad.
Hank 3 is
Hank
all
3
right.
is good. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. I don't know.
Redneck, white rednecks. You got to be careful.
Yeah, you gotta be
You
careful.
never know.
Watch
You never
out.
know.
You just never know. So I guess that's a good transition. So we're gonna talk Streetlight today.
A perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
My parody prog rock band. A perfect segue.
A perfect segue.
Nicely done. Worth
It's
it.
just a bunch of interludes that go into each other.
Yeah.
A bunch of
Actually,
interludes,
that's
no song.
incredible.
Oh, that's boring.
A perfect segue. A whole album
Just
that,
like
that
prog
there's no
rock.
actual song.
There's no song, just interludes.
Just
Intro,
trolling.
overture, interlude.
That sounds like a fucking Tool album to me.
You're a fucking tool. Apple.
Hey,
Yes, got her.
get the fuck out of my house.
So Streetlight's an awesome choice for us to talk about. We definitely have been saving it. It's somebody we want to talk about at some point for sure. I think it's a good time now because my question before we start getting into the time scoshing is why do people dunk on Streetlight so hard these days?
Yeah.
What's
I
going
don't
on? Do you have an
know.
insight on that?
I wonder if maybe it's like just that they're just mad that like they've just taken so long to release new material. Maybe
Ooh,
they
fan
just-
frustration.
I don't know. It might just because like they've just been touring on the same like few albums for like almost like I don't even when Hands That Thief came out in like
2012, 2013.
2012.
Oh, wow.
It's been almost like a decade at this point.
Yeah.
So it might just be that like that they're just it could just be like fan frustration and maybe it was like I never really understood the fact that it's like are they ska? I'm like they're ska. Like why are they not ska?
That thing
Like,
is weird. It's
I've
'cause-
never questioned
It's
that.
because
Maybe they-
Tom came out and was like, "Oh, I don't really like ska or something" at one point,
Yeah.
and then
maybe it's
people
like
really took that personally for some reason.
Yeah, that might be it. Like they're trying to distance themselves too much from ska.
I know, like when ska Reddit was like a big problem or is or whatever. Like I don't know. We have some listeners.
I famously like it.
But I know like Streetlight's a big deal on ska Reddit.
I feel really safe as a femme person on Reddit. I like it. It's a safe, inclusive space.
But
sometimes I'll like make fun of some. I remember one time, I think somebody was like saying something that like saying how like much they didn't like Eichlers, and I was just making fun of them.
Yeah,
that's a big...
it comes up on the ska Reddit from time
I think
to
that's
time.
the only time I used it. The last time I remember using it was like making fun of idiots.
Yeah, truly.
From saying like this isn't ska.
I know Jer, they had an issue. What they keep saying is that like don't talk about Streetlight because they're not releasing new material and they're not getting out there. Like Jer's whole point is that like we should be supporting new artists and
that makes
keeping
sense.
the scene going. But Jer has a big Streetlight poster in their room.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, people I think are like interpreting it differently. Like clearly they're a fan.
You can still enjoy it, but it's not like,
but
it's like they're not
it's
doing
a fair
anything.
point to be just like, yeah, you know what, maybe we should chill out on just like lionizing bands that don't tour or put up
people.
music
I
anymore.
think the answer is that people think they're overrated, but they're not. It's a pretty small niche world where they're like maybe overrated by. Like it's one of those things that like sometimes these like smaller counterculture groups are like the hardest on each other, you know?
Yeah. But then in 2003, when that first record, and maybe we should save this for the time discussion, but when that first record came out, it was like, this was right around the time when it felt like every ska band was leaving. Like they were all either abandoning music
failing,
or they were just quitting altogether. And
ska
you just weren't
was not
getting
cool.
Yeah. And like that's a year after Cheer Up, right? Or what's the Boss Tones record? Pay Attention would have come out around that time. Like, I don't know, like just all the bands that you kind of trusted to be like solid ska bands were basically just like kind of phoning it in on the ska front.
Yeah,
and so
they kept
like, and then Streetlight comes out and like puts out basically a ska record.
Yeah.
That was pretty unabashed.
I don't know
really
a
nice.
lot about the Catch-22 Streetlight thing.
Oh yeah,
me neither.
I'm assuming you'll get into that, but I am not. I'm unfamiliar.
What a great segue. Good job, Celine. I think it's time to enter the time ska sheet.
We're going in the time ska sheet.
Nice.
It was air theremining.
I can't believe I'm in the time ska sheet.
How does it feel? You look great.
I made it to the other side.
Time ska Sheen looks really good on you.
It's about 24 years ago. So put yourself in that headspace.
Okay.
So what the websites I pulled from to discuss Streetlight was AllMusic and Wikipedia. Kill Your Stereo, The Dying Scene, Dan Ozzi's Sellout book. I pulled the old Streetlight website because I love to do that. It's one of my favorite things. And then Tom did a interview in Billboard, so I pulled some stuff off of there. So I tried to be as 360. What? I'm trying to be 360
65?
degrees. I almost said 365.
5 degrees.
I was like, what is that? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Now I'm really confused. I'm like, what is
that?
It is 360, right?
Yes.
365 is the days of the year.
360 is a circle.
180 is a half circle.
Okay, I got it.
What's
Basic
90?
geometry, right? We can do it. What's 90? An L. That's right, Celine. This is maths segment.
Keysby Nights. It was a Keysby night.
It was a Keysby night. It was 1998. Thomas Kalnocki has hit a true crossroads in his life. Does he pursue his
not a
passion?
girl, not yet a woman.
Does he pursue his passion for music, or does he cave to family pressure and finish his collegiate studies? His band Catch-22 had just released, in the death throes of ska's mainstream popularity, its full-length debut to acclaim, Keysby Nights. His band was being hailed as one of the few truly unique voices in the scene, and the album was turning heads of even the most jaded hardcore punks. However, when faced with the realities of his future, he made the difficult decision to hang his guitar up for a little while. But much to his chagrin, the band kept going. But the story of Catch-22 is another pod.
Oh, what?
Smash Cut
Ugh.
2, 2001.
What about the book Catch-22?
Smash Cut 2, 1955.
It's good.
Catch-22
Joseph
is
Heller.
released. Joseph Heller. I might have gotten that.
You
date
like
wrong.
that book?
Yeah, it's a good book.
You like
It's
it?
very funny.
It's very
It's
funny.
very funny. Smash Cut 2, 2001. A freshly graduated Thomas is refreshed and ready to take the music world by storm. Gathering up former Catch-22 mates Josh Ainsley on the bass and Jamie Egan on the trumpet, Thomas embarks on an ambitious musical project entitled The Bandits of the Acoustic Revolution, an orchestrated acoustic ska project that would bridge classical music and ska. The group, which also comprised of members of One Cool Guy plus Thomas's brother Achilles, would release a debut EP entitled A Call to Arms, which again, we're not talking about on this pod, but that EP is fantastic. It is very good. And it's only 4 songs, and it's the only 4 songs recorded by Bandits of the Acoustic
That's
Revolution.
wild.
Today.
History.
Yeah. Joey, you would hate it.
Herstory.
Full blown.
Joey doesn't
Yeah.
like acoustic guitars.
Yeah, there's no way. It is not for you.
That's
It's
fine.
acoustic guitars plus like
I mean, it's in the
Open your
name.
heart.
While this would not be his full-time project, it did energize him and some of his collaborators to form a more realistic project, and thus Streetlight Manifesto was born. This version of the band would... I'm Streetlight.
Baby Streetlight.
Baby Streetlight.
Mom,
Baby-
baby
ba-
wants Scott.
Baby Street Lamp.
I see what you're doing. I don't like it. I prefer you never did it again.
Mama Milky.
Disgusting.
It's a very, very visceral image.
I'm just a little baby Streetlight.
Are you? That's good.
Okay.
This version of the band would craft a brief demo of 4 tracks that would grab the attention of Catch-22's label, Victory Records, who was already aware of the work ethic and pedigree of its members and wasted no time to sign them. The result was in 2003, the release of the band's official debut, Everything Goes Numb, coincidentally released at the same time as Catch-22's Dinosaur Sounds.
Ooh.
It made a huge splash in the ska world, combining elements of jazz, world beat, Latin, and hardcore punk to create a widescreen and eclectic sound. The members included, there's a lot, Thomas, Josh, and Jamie, as previously said, and Jim Conti on the saxophone, Paul Lones on the drums, and Dan Ross on the baritone saxophone. Yeah, like just
I literally forgot. I was like, Celine paid attention to the horns, and I forgot the first horn you said.
I did not even guess that horn.
Yeah, baritone sax.
Oh, that's nice.
But I can't remember what you just said. The other one.
Oh, that's
This
fun.
band has they have
Yeah.
a lot of horns.
Guess it.
Trumpet.
Yes,
Okay, that's good. Oof, that was stressful.
there's more.
No? Did you already say
You
it?
said baritone, saxophone, trumpet,
trumpet.
and
Are you going to keep going?
no, I told you what the other horn was.
Did you?
Yeah.
Another saxophone.
Yes.
Okay. The tenor?
Yeah. Well, the 2 saxophone players both played multiple saxophones.
A tenor sax. That's
And actually,
the only tenor
if you
sax
remember
I
seeing
see.
Streetlight live, they actually have a rack of saxophones, and they pull off of it.
That's fun. They like
Yeah.
a variety of saxes.
Yeah. It's cool.
That's
And
neat.
actually, that at this time, the trumpet player also played the bone. He did
That
both.
sounds like a lot of spit to dump
Definitely
out.
yeah. It does sound like a lot of spit.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Celine. You're on fire today.
Dump out some spit. That's what professional horn players say when they like
Yeah, dump
clean
out
their
some spit when
valves.
yeah. All I'll say about Dinosaur Sounds is it's not great.
Oh.
The Catch-22 album, yeah, I don't remember liking it. The one after it's really good. The one before it's really good. That one's rough. But both Dinosaur Sounds and Everything Goes Numb has a lot of little digs at each other. So it's fun to kind of read it and try to see like, are they talking
What
about
about-
the other band?
Yeah, there's some beef.
What about that dinosaur sound?
Yeah, what about it? That's good. That's slightly better than the album Dinosaur Sounds by Catch-22. Cover album incoming. Let's talk about it. Everything Goes Numb.
That's the only album that I like listen to like nostalgically.
It was
what we're
like-
listening to in general of Streetlight actually.
Yeah, it like my band would have been together when a little bit after this album came out, and that was all we talked about. was Streetlight Manifesto. That's like it was everything to us. Streetlight was everything, and they would come through town once in a while. But I've seen them play a bunch. Like Edmonton, being not a ska friendly place, is friendly to Streetlight.
Yes,
Yeah.
we sell out Streetlight shows, which is interesting.
They sell out every time they come here.
But yeah, A Moment of Silence was like very, very like a very special song in my adolescence.
Yeah, they write anthems. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a misfit anthem.
Yeah. How about Megawave? Thoughts on that album?
Yeah, I love that album. I feel like the only qualm I have with it, like in comparison to like the rest, is like the recording quality. Like some of the guitar tones are like a little rough, some of the drum sounds, but I feel like that kind of adds like a good character to it, like the juxtaposition of like kind of
like a little edgy.
Like the jazzy, classically kind of arrangements, and like just like the pummeling like crazy punk shit that they have. And I would say the same thing also about Long Island too. Like they I mean they're not where we live. There's like in terms of how like the Streetlight always like did crazy well over here, but also they're not too far away from their hometown. Like we
Of New Brunswick.
Yeah, they're from Jersey, so
we
we would get them pretty frequently. Like when they would usually either come to the city or Long Island, and usually I used to work at a music venue in Long Island that actually got Streetlight a few times. I feel like that was like the thing I enjoyed the most. Like I remember those were like the shows I always enjoyed the most, was anytime Streetlight would come through.
They play a good show.
Yeah, I remember the shows always just being like just chaos, like just like absolute just mayhem.
Yeah.
They mean a lot to a lot of people.
The worst pit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we were talking about how great ska shows are for having like a clean pit.
Streetlight's a bad pit.
Yeah, I feel like Streetlight's the only one that's like, it is not. It is just.
It's not safe.
Wild.
It's not a safe.
Yeah.
Michelle, what's your totally? What's your history with Streetlight?
With this album.
Or this album?
Yeah.
This
That's what I
album in
meant.
particular is definitely the same like you said, Celine, like just nostalgic for me.
Yeah, this is the one that hits home.
Yeah. Just being a teenager and being driven in circles, listening to it.
Literally, like, and I was just like, yes, feed my angst.
And it's like, it's kind of like Keys Be Nights 2. Like, it really feels like it's supposed to be a sequel to Keys Be Nights in a lot of ways. Except it's way jazzier. And the songs are all 5 minutes long.
Do you think that's why, do you think that's why they're bigger? It's because, like, band nerds love them? I bet you band nerds love them. Band.
They absolutely. Yeah, I think they're like the band nerd band. Like just the arrangement, the horn arrangements, and the compositions are just so well done and just so interesting. I feel like just even with like people that probably don't even listen to like punk music like love Streetlight.
Yeah, which is probably why the theater kids like them too.
Right, that actually makes sense. Like that actually totally makes sense that it was in your world through like kind of the musical theater kids. Because I feel like I went to a theater school, but I didn't do theater, but just because I was like so lazy about everything. But I feel like Streetlight was like big in my high school, like the art school.
All of my
all of his band was in my school.
Your school, yeah, that adds up.
Yeah,
they were like, we should let's listen to a tune. Let's listen to Everything Went Numb, the first track.
That's fun. That's very fun. What a good time.
Yeah, I love the way all the horns come in.
So fast.
I would say the bass on this album too is crazy.
Yeah. It's cool. Non-standard arrangements.
Interesting timing.
Yeah. Slow the tempo back. Put it back. Oh yeah.
That's like a pit feeding song. You know how like, I feel like that would rile their songs rile people up, including me.
They just get people like so amped.
Totally.
I like when we were talking about Less Than Jake, how he said Less Than Jake has two kinds of songs. They have the a Guy We Know song and I Need to Get Out of This Town song. I think Streetlight has two kinds of songs too. They have the
So sad and angsty. I'm a misfit.
they have a I'm a misfit and I'm angsty song, and then they have a bank robber song.
And they have a lot of like very just existential dread songs too.
I think that's why I liked it. Is I feel like I was born with so much existential dread.
Yeah,
So
and that's,
anything
like,
that has that.
Yeah. You're just like, ooh, I love this.
That's why I love Modest Mouse. I was just like,
existential
ooh.
dread, but Ska'd.
It's like I was just like nihilism. But yeah, it's like hard. I think Streetlight's so much better than Less Than Jake. I do not know why Less Than Jake is bigger. That's like, it's not even comparable.
I agree. I think they're just musicianship is just on a higher level.
And this is their first album.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like I was gonna say I feel like that one like kind of like interlude part kind of just sound like something like me like in like a musical theater arrangement. Which I feel like I could see how like all the theater kids are like into it.
What separates the debut from the other albums too is this is like, I think another critique people have of Streetlight is that it's kind of the Tom show. But I feel like on the first one, this feels very collaborated.
Yeah.
Like the guitar is not the most important instrument. His vocals are not the most important instrument. Like all the instruments are really important. And Jamie Egan is just like an incredible trumpet player. And he just always is like right up there. And also the bass playing is like Josh Ainsley wrote my favorite bass line of all time with Walking Away on Keysby Nights, and he plays bass on this one. Damn, so good.
I can't get over the like theater kid connection. This is really blowing my mind.
Yeah, I feel like it makes I feel like listening to that one little interlude and everything goes on like almost like sounded something that could be in like Fiddler on the Roof for a second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There is a musical theater element to it now that
Matchmaker, street me a light.
Street me a light.
Manifest me a catch.
You lost it.
Manifest me a catch was great.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Fiddler on the Roof is actually crazy because the first half is like fucking slaps and you're like, we're having a good time. They're just sad Russian Jewish people walking. So sad.
They're just walking. It's so sad that
they're
walking.
packing up their village. It was real sad.
One of the
I do have a moment of silence queued up. We should let's listen to that bad boy.
Me knowing horns.
This is a classic motif in ska.
A lot of sax forward sound.
This bass though.
I'm telling you,
this
Josh
bass,
killer bass
carries the song.
A lot of like he's playing a chord on the bass.
A moment of silence, please, for those that never get the chance.
The rare reggae Streetlight songs.
The losers, the liars, the bastards, the thieves, the cynics, the pessimists, those that don't believe in nothing.
The best.
It is mine.
I thought that horn line is like so iconic.
It's outrageous.
What's it like to stand in your shoes? Never felt the belt of somebody's abuse. Talking about how you was that about. We stand and jump and we fall.
It's good. So I also get like an Ennio Morricone kind of feel to it as well. Like I really feel like there's like a spaghetti western element to it sometimes.
It's so good. That gives me goosebumps. That song meant like everything. I never met a loser that I didn't see eye to eye with. I declare, always.
I feel like also part of their live show. I feel like whenever like that, like you just hear that horn line, everyone's like, "Oh boy, here we go!"
Yeah.
Like, especially the way it segues into A Moment of Violence, and like
Yes.
that's always like the like just mayhem like circle pit.
Circle
song.
pit.
So I just feel like I just remember whenever you hear like that beginning horn line at the show, I remember you just like see everybody's face just like light up.
It's mandatory that those two songs are back to back. So on the record,
exactly.
Like, this song flows into A Moment of Violence, which is basically the hardcore punk version of it.
Yeah.
For those listening that haven't heard it.
Michelle, does this song have a special place in your little angsty heart, theater kid heart?
Not that I could like really remember that well.
Yeah.
That it did, but I definitely always enjoyed it.
Yes. It's a slammer jammer.
Yeah.
This album is low on like hard electric guitars, which I also like. It's he plays a lot of clean guitar.
I feel like that was that would be my biggest complaint was that I was never a fan of the guitar tone on this album. It always just sounded like kind of scratchy and like, but I might just be thinking of that as like a guitar player, but like the guitar is very much not a focal point instrument whatsoever. So I feel like that's how
It's kind of interesting.
That's probably like how it like I still love it so much. Like it's not really. I just always like mainly the distorted guitar tone every time like the fast part. That's like the one thing that always bothered me. Like it just sounds super just like scratchy and tinny but that's just I feel like that's mainly it's because I'm a guitar player.
We should maybe so the last song I have from this album is "We Are the Few."
I literally didn't even ever notice that there wasn't that much guitar, and now that's
it's very like low, especially I mean it doesn't really need to be. It's not the prominent instrument at all.
No.
As the albums progress, that changes, but on this one for sure.
Mr. Geppetto, I hope this finds you well. I wrote this letter.
Acoustics.
And now I know it's hard when you don't know what to think. And every single smile is a fall and you're waking up. You might try, but you won't get by. So you crucified for all the things you try to do. I don't care if you think I'm swimming. I don't care how you hold it in. As long as you don't bother me with all the things I don't bother you with. Now times out of 10 you might be right, but what about the time you know you're wrong? You sing that same song. Everybody smiles, but they never get along. Trying and I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying to let go. But everybody's going down tonight. We are the few that won't say nothing right. We are the footsteps fading into the
Oh yeah, there it is. A little tinny.
This is good.
It's great. Yeah, it's
This isn't overrated. This is I think that's what it's overrated or it's underrated in far as music goes.
It's funny that's like a version of them when they do like a sea shanty type of thing. They like to do like I don't know.
Yeah, you're a sea shanty bitch.
I do love sea shanties.
I love me a good sea shanty.
What was the game you played that had lots of sea shanties?
Assassin's Creed.
Which one? The pirate one?
The pirate one, yeah. My wife got so mad at me because I kept singing pirate songs every time. So I found out recently that every instrument that you would qualify as like a pirate instrument, like those little accordions and all that kind of stuff, those instruments would have come out like 200 years after the golden age of pirates. So they is unlikely they may have had like rowing songs, but it's unlikely that they actually sang like.
You think it was acoustic? You think it was like
songs,
rockapella? You think they were doing?
Yeah, like boo, No, what's that? That's Hanson.
Killing pirates.
They were singing Hanson hundreds of years.
Nope, sea shanty. Sea Hancy.
Well, Sea Hancy is the perfect time for us to take a break. When we get back, more Streetlight Manifesto. Welcome back to Checkered Past, talking Streetlight Manifesto with Megawave. And we just left off in 2003, and now we head into the next phase of the band's career. They never saw themselves as a touring project, but with the critical acclaim of their debut, that needed to change. And with that change came a lot of personnel changes, with Thomas remaining the chief songwriter. After a barnstorming headline of Ska is Dead 2, the band headed to Florida, where they were robbed of almost $100,000 in equipment.
Woo!
Almost immediately
Sounds
after...
like Florida.
Yeah, almost immediately after they went to France and were robbed again.
Whoa! Why everyone want to rob them?
I don't know. I remember this when...
I guess they got a lot of stuff.
They have a lot of...
I guess, yeah.
They
a lot
have
of instruments.
Rack of saxophones.
Fair. They're
Well,
just showing
saxophones.
off those shiny, expensive
Like
saxophones.
a berry is like 10 grand.
Really?
Like, they're pretty expensive, yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Like it depends if they have
Man.
a brand new one, but like they're super duper expensive and they're all about that berry. Undeterred, the band continued to tour and release music, including a complete re-recording of Keysby Nights, the Catch-22 debut, in 2006, followed by their proper sophomore album somewhere in the between in 2007, With Jim Conti still on tow for saxophone, the new group included Mike Brown on the Barry, Pete McCulloch on bass, Mike Soprano on trombone, official trombone, Matt Stewart on trumpet.
Mike Soprano.
Yeah, Mike's, yeah.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah.
Like, what's the thing he says? I'm trying
Hey,
to
I'm
think.
Bada Bing. Bada Bing.
Bada Bing was the name of the strip club.
Bada Bean.
Bada beam, bada boom.
Bada Boom.
And Chris Thatcher on the drums. So almost a completely new lineup. There was only 2 people still the same from the debut. The album sound would continue to be more sophisticated and use more acoustic Latin and world elements. Much like the debut, it was released to critical acclaim and again would be on Victory Records, which is a hardcore record label. Let's talk about it. I know I glossed over Keysby, but there's a question from a listener. We'll talk about that later. Somewhere in between.
Was Catch-22 mad?
With the re-recording thing?
Yeah.
He was kind of like,
Or they got it?
I remember when Thomas announced it and he was like, made some shady comments about, oh, this is what it would sound like if I had done it my way.
Do people prefer
This is the cool version.
Streetlights or
So,
no?
save that because there's
Okay.
a listener question that asked that exact same
Okay.
thing. So we'll get into it.
Okay.
Which one do we prefer?
Oh.
But
I just wanted to know what the masses think.
yeah, we'll get into it. We're not talking about Keys.
Okay.
We're talking about somewhere in the between.
Okay.
It's quite a bit. I think I mean, they sound like Streetlight, but it does sound different enough. Like
Okay.
it sounds way more like the Tom show. Like guitar is way more up front. It's more like written. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like the songs don't feel as chaotic or like like it feels more like he's trying to compress everything into like a full song.
Yeah.
At least that was the vibe I got.
I think the songs. I mean, in my opinion, I think the songs are a little more memorable in a way. I feel like there's a lot more like the hooks are a little better, like the
Much better.
like lyrical art. I would say like I feel like definitely like it's a little more tight and concise.
It
Less
was
shout-alongs. Like it's not like
less anthemic,
Yeah.
which is
But
I
more
wasn't as
hook-based.
familiar with this, but I did really enjoy listening to this album, not the other one.
This one
Spoiler.
actually is my favorite. Like this was
It's
my like
very
entry
good.
point. I think when I started getting into them, they had, I guess this was their most recent album. And this is the one I listen to the most. Like we have it on vinyl. And I've been spinning it like since we had this coming. I've been spinning it a lot this week, and I just forgot how I feel like it's very like perfect, like front to back. Like there's
It
very
plays
little
well
filler.
through.
Yeah.
It does play like it played like I.
It's
my
more
test is always
accessible.
listening to it at work, and I obviously did not get that test for this last album, but this one did play well at work. Like it was like nice, and every so often there was like
Yeah.
I was listening to it in the car, and like my friend who's like not into ska at all was like, "I like this song." What song did we realize it was?
Watch
you
It Crash.
Watch It
I
Crash.
have that queued up.
Yeah.
That's the second one in.
And she was like, "This song is good," and I was like, "This song is good. It
Yeah,
rips."
It's gonna get loud right away, so let's get it. Oh yeah.
It rips.
It rips.
It's chuggy. A little chuggy. Ooh, fuzzy.
So much more guitar.
Yeah, the guitars look a lot more prominent in this record.
Yeah.
It sounds
Oh, yeah.
so much better too.
Yeah, the production's better.
Yeah.
It's one of the best horn lines. It's just insane.
Last night I woke alone with a whisper in my ear, rejecting all my aspirations and my fears. And when the
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's really good.
but it would linger on for years. The second kiss, just blame it on her mother.
Woo.
Everything they did was always wrong. And there ain't no turning back when our train is off its track. And there's nothing we can do but watch it crash. And there ain't no
It's still so anthemic.
Hell yeah.
That's so good.
I
It
think
gives me goosebumps. The Streetlight gives me. Why is it so emotional? Why is there a lot of emotion in it?
when you were talking about it before we recorded, I said that kind of sounds like an Iron Maiden song. Like if Iron Maiden were doing a ska song.
Kinda, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's very
Bruce
like
Dickinson.
it's very anthemic.
Yeah.
I feel like
Great.
also listening to this, I was like thinking, I feel like it might just be like also the production value and like
It's a million times.
it's
better.
like so much better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like there's like a charm to Everything Goes Numb that like that I feel like that it's able to. I'm like it's still such a good album. But yeah, I feel like just the production on this one like it's just like leveled up so much.
I didn't talk about it, but like one of my biggest critiques of the first record is that it's like an hour long, which is like too long.
Yeah.
It is
like,
pretty long.
They write 5-minute songs. What they
Yeah,
do
that's
is write 5-minute songs,
Right.
and they don't
Their
stop. doing
intros
that.
are like a minute to a minute and a
Yeah.
half sometimes.
Their outros are like a minute and a half. They'll just like finish the last chorus and then keep playing for another minute.
Death Cab for Cutie does that too.
Mm.
But I will just straight up go into it. I'll just like figure out
Yeah.
when I'm in a Death Cab space. I'll just be like, when does it like about a minute and a half in for Soul Meets Body or something, or not Soul Meet. Anyways,
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
matter.
what was
Possess
that?
Your Heart.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of enjoy that about that song though. Like I like that the way
You're
it
like, it's gonna
builds.
come now.
And then it
And
doesn't.
it
But then
doesn't.
like what it does like the way it just like builds and they're just like jamming on it. Usually I'd be like, all right, like let's go. Like but like for some reason with that song it just like
They're good at what they do.
they're just like I'm just like vibing with it the whole time.
I'm in like a deep like respect for Death Cab phase right now after I watched their
I
like
love Death
Tiny
Cab.
Desk concert. Oh my god. He's just so talented.
Ben Gibbard.
yeah, they're
He
so
really
good.
is.
Mhm.
I just love Death Cab for Cutie.
They're
It's
such
fun.
a good
It's
band.
sad. Existential dread.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, we saw them. I think I took Michelle for
I think that was it might have been a birthday present or a
it was like a festival they were playing in Philly, and they were so good. Like
They were good live.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
phenomenal. I remember they opened with "I Will Possess Your Heart," and like I feel like the way it built there, like it was so cool.
I'd cry. I cried seeing The Refused. That's still my favorite show because like it was
I would love to
the
see
most
them,
interesting
yeah.
crowd. It was out Warped Tour. Or not Warped Tour. Punk Rock
Punk
Bowling.
Rock Bowling.
Punk Rock for
Okay.
Bowling.
Crud for bowling.
Bowling for Soup, I think is what it was. Anyways.
Mm.
But yeah, nobody was there with each other. Everybody was there for themselves. Everybody was like, we're like just there for themselves, looking at the
Yeah.
Refused, being like, this is for me.
Mhm.
And I was also that. No one was singing together. Everyone was singing to
Vibing
The
on their own.
Refused.
Yeah, I would love to see them.
It was incredible. I cried. We lack the motion.
yeah.
I would love to see Refused.
Ugh.
We kind of touched on this song earlier, but Would You Be Impressed is queued up because that video I felt like was everywhere for a period of time. I feel like this is like a breakout for them.
Yeah, the one with all the little animals.
Yeah, the animated video.
Would you be upset if I told you we were dying?
Yeah.
And every cure they gave us was a lie.
Yeah, I'd be upset.
They say we're dead and doomed. And every single symptom brings us closer to the tomb. And who will take
Existential dread.
my fall? Would you be impressed if I said the dead would help us counting? When seeing a moment that we waste our time. All the time we're spending vaccinating this disease. I just can't sit when I think of all the ways we try to hide our melodies. Meanwhile, we died, and everything is fine because it's not my fault. Now you're upset.
Yeah,
It's very good.
That's
it's kind of
another
an
one.
interesting song to like break out for them because it's not like super catchy.
Well, and the lyrics are pretty intense.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very like intense, like right from the beginning too. Like the second it starts.
It's an intense song.
one of the things they do that not a lot of ska bands do is like they don't loop horns as much. Like the horn line is like a constantly changing melody to the end of it.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you know, like if you listen to like a Buck 09 song, it's like a 12-note hook that just repeats like 4 times, and that's the horn line, right? So this is like, I think that's their jazz background, is just to make it as like melodic but not repeating itself.
Yeah,
So
there's
yeah.
not a lot of repeat, and even if there is like some repetition, there's like another horn is maybe doing something else underneath it or
Yeah.
over it.
It'd be hard to learn.
Yeah, they try to make it not boring, I think, is like their
Yeah.
whole thing. Like,
And it's probably not boring for them, too. you know.
I hope not, because I feel like they've been playing they've been playing the same song.
They've been playing it for 10 years, so I guess
very
it's not
long
that
time.
boring.
So I guess it's not, because
But I guess
still
if
seem to
you
be having
figured it
fun.
out, you already made good songs.
Yeah. I feel like that's the one good thing I think about that the fact that they don't have like that for the amount of time they've been a band, that they don't have a ton of music, that it's all good. Like there's really no like filler or anything.
Yeah, they try
For the
not
most
to, I
part.
guess.
Yeah.
By like, well, he's famously a perfectionist. Takes like
Yeah.
months to write and record songs, and just keeps going back into the studio and changing things and getting new recordings. Might be difficult to work with, but I don't know. The band is basically the same since this record. They didn't really change too much. So,
Michelle, is this album like album you're like more familiar with?
Well, we spin it a lot in our house.
Yeah. By proxy. There's a lot of albums like by choice or not by choice. Specifically not by choice. Yeah.
let's continue on. So the band would continue to aggressively tour and begin to expand its Pentimento Risk group, which is their label, releasing a bunch of solo projects, including Tokay, which is Thomas's acoustic stuff. And then they started this thing called Songs of a Revolution, which would have 8 albums and 99 songs. And they released one, which was a covers album with Streetlight. And so far, that's the only one. And that was in 2010. So I don't know. That sounds an awful lot like when Sufjan Stevens said he was going to do an album for every state in the U.S.
And
So I don't know.
It's like, oh god.
Yeah, he's like, what did I paint myself in
50?
the corner.
That's too many.
But it does have a cover of a Postal Service song,
That's fun.
bringing it around full circle. That's a really good cover
They
too.
all come-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my
in
favorite on
two-
that album.
Oh, for sure. That album has some weird covers choices because some of it is very rote.
Strange.
Like they have I'm trying to think of, I want to say they have a Dead Milkman cover, which is like
yeah.
everybody does that cover. Although I do like the No Effects one is cool. It's just like you'll listen
Joey's
to one.
eyes
Yeah,
twinkled
it's linoleum.
when you said no effect.
Of course, it's linoleum.
The only song anyone covers.
Yeah, but that's
Sticking in my eye is a popular one.
But then Postal Service is just such a left field cover choice. After announcing a release date for their follow-up, Thomas posts that the album will delay it for an unspecified reason. While giving several more dates, Victory would refuse to release an official date, and then in February announced that they're withholding all copies not sold through their website or through their stores. So if you pre-ordered through Streetlight's website, you were not going to get a copy. And so instead, Streetlight actually sent out like CDRs to people with like ripped songs on it.
Damn.
And I remember going to shows at this time, and they would full blown say, "Don't buy our music anywhere. You have to download it." Yeah,
I remember that they were like hard. I remember there was I remember seeing them around when this record came out, and they're like, "This is our albums on the internet for free. That's where it is, and that's how much it costs."
Yeah,
like very prominently, like don't give
buy
Victory
from
money. Yeah.
So
fair.
And so they asked for a full boycott of Victory across everything. And if you are not familiar with Victory Records and Tony Victory, the owner, here's some more fun facts about how great a dude he is.
He sucks.
He's not great.
In 2001, Thursday, the band Thursday made a complaint to Tony, and this is in Dan Ozzi's book, that Tony went ahead and made a bunch of whoopee cushions with Thursday's little dove logo on it and sent it out to radio stations. I don't know if you know Thursday.
Yes, another emo
post-hardcore / emo band.
Yeah,
not
Jersey.
a fan.
Are they?
They're not too far from us.
Yeah,
Jersey.
That's right.
There's a couple good Thursday songs.
I like Thursday.
Oh, I thought you were going to
No,
slam on
I'm not
Thursday.
slamming on
Oh,
Thursday.
no,
I just
no.
think a whoopee cushion is not on brand for
Very
Thursday.
much. I would not. I was like, I'm like maybe like I don't know, a sillier like they're like why a whoopee cushion for Thursday? That's not.
And to the radio stations, what a terrible idea. And then this one is even funnier. In 2006, Hawthorne Heights sued Victory Records, citing that Tony sent a bunch of incendiary messages in the band's name to Neo, the R&B singer Neo, who released an album at the same time as Hawthorne Heights, and Victory hired Hawthorne Heights' street team to go into CD stores and take the Neo CDs and put them behind Hawthorne Heights CDs.
That's
Wow.
funny.
I feel like it's not even like the same market.
No,
No.
the
I would just be like,
no,
who
there's
cares?
no
Leave me
threat.
alone.
Absolute insanity.
They're like,
And-
where the fuck's my Neo CD?
And it was
I gotta look at this. What's this emo shit? That's fun.
Yeah, Hawthorne Heights is also pretty good.
like, it's just so, and it's insane. And
I
then
was like, I want that job. Someone could hire me to do that. I'd shuffle around some CDs.
Yeah.
on top
that's
of
a-
all that, like, everybody basically said that they were withholding royalties, that they had
Yeah.
like this, the accountant at Victory was basically hiding money. Dan Ozzie in his sellout book basically said that even major labels would like say, don't take a meeting with Victory, like absolutely don't do it. He was such a pariah. I don't know if he still is. I assume so.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
a lot of like even I don't know. I think right now their roster is like a graveyard. It's like I don't think they really have much. Like I feel like they probably the only power they have is really just like maybe rehashing older, like when
And
other
maybe the
releases
name.
when and the name and stuff when they
In
were
the name,
actually
you see the
relevant.
bulldog, and you're like, hey, maybe I
Yeah.
can get a hardcore album out of this. right?
Yeah. Yeah, but like, I feel like I remember like looking at the roster recently, like who in the fuck is? I feel like it probably caught. I guess it caught up to them, maybe.
And so in 2013,
Yeah.
the band's official third album, The Hands That Thieve, was released on Victory to critical acclaim, and it would heavily explore more folk, acoustic, somber elements of the band's sound, and was accompanied by an all-acoustic cover version that Tokay did, confusingly named The Hand That Thieves. So bad. I don't approve of doing that. And there's almost no change to the lineup, but this was supposed to be the last contractual album for Victory, or so they thought. In 2015, Victory filed a $1 million lawsuit against Thomas, claiming that they failed to meet their 5-record quota, saying that 99 Songs of a Revolution doesn't count because it's all covers.
Okay.
They also claim that Thomas releasing an acoustic album
like
violates their copyright. And so Thomas...
So they're fucking
post-
shitty.
Yeah, and so what he posted on Facebook was, the reports are not true. Tony Victory is not suing me for $1 million. He's suing me for $5 million.
Oh my god.
There's so much money.
In 2017, they
Jeez.
settled out of court. And in a 2022 or in 2021 interview, Thomas said this: on a very basic level, I don't know people and people don't know me. I'm a stranger to them and I don't want them to think they know me through my songs. I want to remove anyone in the band's personality from the larger picture. That's the exact opposite of what everyone does these days on social media, oversharing and stuff. We don't post pictures of our breakfast and our vacations. We don't talk about our religious or political beliefs. Anything you want to know about us is in our music. Which, you know, there you go. That's a quote that
They
people
just
are
said though
probably-
that you should separate who they are from their music, and then they said everything you need to know about us is through our music.
So that's why people are a little.
I was like,
sour
that's
on
a
Thomas, I guess.
shitty. That's a very
little-
hypocritical statement. You like don't. Our personalities are
Yeah.
separate. It's our music. But if you want to know about us, it's in our music.
Yeah, it's kind of
The Vic-
confusing.
The Victory stuff is like a big part of their history. The fact that they settled it, so he bought all of his master tapes back. How much he paid for everything, who knows? I hope it wasn't $5 million.
Yeah,
I hope it
probably
was a
lot.
more reasonable amount of money.
That
Yeah, I
sucks.
hope so.
I'm sure in 2017, Victory would have taken $10 and a coupon to Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel there's I feel like now they don't really have much clout anymore.
But yeah. Anyway, it's just part of a long string of shitty things that Tony Victory did.
Yeah.
And he is not ashamed of it. He
Hey,
doesn't seem
Tony
to-
Victory, a real mobster.
Good
I
old
think they're in
Tony.
New York, aren't they? Or no, Chicago. I think Victory's in Chicago.
Hey, Chicago.
Chicago.
Bulls.
Yeah.
Bulls.
Yeah.
What is
What are
it?
you doing?
The bean.
You're talking about the Chicago Bulls.
The
I see what you're
Bears. The Bears.
doing. Yeah.
I think it's like still like the Brooklyn accent though. It's like, hey, I'm in Chicago.
hey, I'm walking here in Chicago.
So let's finish off. The Hands That Thieve. How do we all feel about this?
It's fine. It's not bad. I just like it was a little boring.
It's
I left it to the last minute.
it's very different. It's not, there's like no ska on it, like half of it maybe, but they toned that part down for sure.
It's definitely not. It's definitely by far not the by any means the worst thing we've listened to on this podcast.
It's definitely so if Somewhere in the Between has a lot of hooky, like earworm songs, this kind of pulls back to them being very jazzy and like folky, and there's lots of long instrumentals, and like
this was for them.
Yeah, this feels a little bit more.
I feel
like,
that too. I feel like personally that I feel like this album's like very underrated. I feel like it might have been like when it came out, because like I remember like when they were touring on it, like they were like saying like we're after this, we're done. Like after it was very much. I don't know. I got like the vibe like they were gonna like kind of go on hiatus, which I guess they like sort of did. They only did like they didn't really do very much afterwards.
Right.
And I guess with all the shit going on, and it is kind of straying away from ska. But some of my favorite Streetlight songs are definitely on this one.
Okay.
Which ones did you like? What stand?
I think Toe to Toe is one of my favorites. Like just the melody is so good. The sax solo.
Yeah, I do like that song.
The lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much. Yeah, it is very much like more on the folky side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this one it gets very. It is. I understand why people are very like gloss over it. Like it is very like it's very not. I mean, it still is pretty Streetlight. Like some of the songs, like the Three of Us, and like a few other ones are pretty classic Streetlight. But yeah, I think it. I feel like it's a little underrated, or it gets kind of like thrown under the bus.
That's fair.
They try new things, and like I did queue up Three of Us, but I don't know if I'll play it. The thing with the Three of Us that I like is that he doesn't start singing for a minute and a half into the song.
Yeah, there's a long
huge horn intro. Yeah. And not even like a boring one, a really high energy one.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A minute and a half of just like horns going nuts, and then he starts singing.
Yeah.
But it was the first single. It's very much like we didn't talk about When We Fall Together was like the first single on the last record.
Yeah.
Which is similar vibes, I would say. But you're talking about the folky songs. I have The Hands That Thieve queued up. We should listen to that, because this is a good example of their like whatever folk pirate songs.
Yeah.
Sea shanties.
The thing is, Bill was guilty self, so maybe it was something else. Frustration at the fact that I was ever caught at all. I told a lie that multiplied, and by the time I realized it, I'd given up everything I ever loved. Yeah. The thing you like when you're looking back is the pressure, the fear that you have to act. Yeah, everything is clear when you're looking at the past. Oh no.
There are a lot of woes on this one.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of woes. Yeah, there is definitely some like a little more of the shanty vibe on this album.
I got hardcore sea shanty vibes off of this.
Yeah.
Joey's nodding his head. Yeah, he's like, lots of sea shanties. Although, Joey, for you, there is a like skate punky song, and it's called Ungrateful, and I have it there. We'll see if...
Yeah, this one's a lot more classic.
Yeah.
You're waiting for it. And that's the end of the song. No.
It's just starting.
Like they still got some of like the circle penny parts. Butterbean got hyped.
There you go.
That's fun. That's good.
Yeah,
That's one of my
that's
favorites.
more. That's more like a classic Circle Pity.
Yeah.
Daft Punk Streetlight song. I also have this record on vinyl too. I feel like I was revisiting it recently, and I feel like it yeah, I feel like I understand why people are kind of. It doesn't like get like super hated, but I just feel like it gets like glossed over, kind of.
When you
Like, it
compare
just-
it to like how big their first two records really
Yeah,
were,
when
by
you compare,
this
yeah, how
time,
like yeah, when you compare it to how like iconic the first two were. Like, I feel like it doesn't necessarily get like panned, like oh my god, fuck that album.
Yeah.
Like it usually just gets kind of like glossed over.
I
I'm a big fan.
I remember this album being one that Andrew and I, who formed Mega Weapon, which is now Megawave, I remember us bonding over this album a lot.
Yeah, because I remember it coming out. Like, actually, I feel like that maybe that's why. I
And
have
that's
more of an attachment
exciting.
To it. Like, I remember like getting into Streetlight when they had Everything Went Numb and oh my god, I can't believe I just forgot about the name of that. My favorite, the
somewhere in the between.
somewhere in the between.
I can believe it
don't
because I already forgot.
I don't know. That's like my favorite. I just blanked. But I feel like I remember like those were, and like I remember like the excitement of Streetlight putting out a new record, and like
People have said
The
before,
hype
like,
coming up
oh,
to
well,
it.
if it was important to you, you wouldn't forget it. And I'm like, that is not true. I forget important
Exactly,
things
yeah,
all the time,
Yeah.
my friend.
yeah, that's one of my
And-
favorite albums. I don't know, for some reason my brain was like, nope,
No.
it's not that.
But
good.
that makes sense that you like listen to it when it came out, because there's a lot like when you, because for me, I'm listening to it a bit after the fact, even though
Yeah,
there's like familiar
exactly.
songs. But like when you're stoked and like one of your favorite bands releases a new album and it's good and you enjoy it, like that,
Yeah, you get
like-
more attachment to it.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time to play a game. Celine, you excited?
No.
We're excited to play
I
some
hate
games.
your little
Diglo
games.
and
Oh
Michelle?
boy,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
excited for some games.
All right,
I'm gonna win.
all right.
Yay.
I wrote lyrics to this,
gosh.
but I'm too lazy to do them. I'll just
No.
do this. Sue, all ya. Sue, 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 Sue. Sue, all ya. Sue,
Sue,
Sue, Sue, Sue.
I don't really want to sue.
Yeah, you get it. You see what I was doing.
And sue.
This
and
game-
sue.
this game-
Ow.
This game's called Sue All Ya. In this game, Joey's getting ready to take to.
I
keep
did not
score.
get any notes. I just joined in excitedly.
So in this game, Celine, Michelle, and Mike will be given the name and year of a famous music court case pulled from alternative press, and you have to buzz in to guess what was the nature of it. Like, why were they suing these other people? So just buzz in with your name or buzz or ska or whatever. You get a point for a correct answer. Most point wins. I'll give you an example. Metallica versus Napster.
Sue.
What?
Scott.
They sued him
4? Why?
because of music. They didn't want people downloading their music.
You got
for
it.
free.
Okay. So that's how this would go. That doesn't
Lars
count.
was mad.
Yeah.
Lars was mad. Real mad.
Metallica, you know what? It's fair. They actually don't have any money and they need
Mm-hmm.
more of it.
Especially after this in 2000, this would have been pre-Saint Anger post-load.
Yeah. No money.
Humble local band Metallica.
Caught me off guard.
Next
Humble
up,
was
Humble.
was what got me.
I'm humble.
Whiskey in the jarro, whiskey in the humble.
All right, here we go. Let's kick this off. Okay, the Parents Music Resource Center Senate hearing in 1985.
Huh?
There's a yeah. Go ahead.
Ska. I think
Yeah.
was that because of the parental advisor, the birth of the parental
Yes.
advisory sticker.
Ooh.
The parental advisory sticker. They
Ooh, I
had
got it.
15 bands, including Twisted Sister and Black Sabbath, and Dee Snider went in
Shaking in
full
his
drag
boots.
and did the Senate hearing, and you'd be surprised to know he lost doing that. And the parental sticker got
Yeah, I remember.
He won in
reading-
my heart, in the court of my
who
heart.
doesn't? Dee Snider is a legend. He can do whatever he wants, but it
Long
didn't
Island,
work.
New York.
He's
Dee
a Long
Snider.
Island, New York. Dee Snider.
Hey.
There's something in the water, and I like
He's
it.
got that Long Island, that snarky Long Island attitude. you don't want to mess with him.
Next up,
You definitely don't want to mess with him in that horror movie he did that we bring up all the time. Strange Land. He pierced people for evil.
Marvin Gaye versus Robin Thicke in 2018.
Celine,
Go for it.
Blurred Lines.
Right. What about it?
It stole a hook from one of his songs.
I'll give it to you, but they claimed that they stole the feeling of the song
That's insane.
Yeah,
but
that
also
is-
fair.
and won.
That's ridiculous.
And won.
And won.
And the judge was not happy.
The judge wasn't happy?
No, because
with Robin Thicke?
No, it was that they won that case. They were like, you win, but I'm mad. Like, this is stupid.
The jury.
Yeah, but the judge was real mad. He's like, this is the first time this has ever happened. It's like a very funny judge thing. Anyway, the McCollum family versus Ozzy Osbourne in 1984.
Huh?
Ska.
Go for it.
Did it have something to do with the bat?
That's what I was thinking.
It's not
Like
the
it was
bat.
like you can't eat bats. Like
Oh, Michelle's got a
Don't
guess.
go around eating bats.
Did he like did oh this is gonna be sad if I'm wrong. Did he commit suicide?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, yeah.
The song "Suicide Solution."
Oh.
Okay.
They had claimed Ozzy Osbourne wrote a pro-suicide song, but it's
Ooh.
actually not a pro-suicide
No.
song. It's an anti-suicide song.
Anti.
John Doe versus Randy Blythe, the singer for Lamb of God, in 2010.
Oh, Ska.
Yeah.
Was this one when they were overseas and I think someone was stage diving and ended up dying from like an injury, or there was like a thing
Correct.
where he might have like pushed him.
Yeah, he was charged with
like,
manslaughter
Yeah, charged
for
with-
letting the guy stage dive. Yeah.
or I don't know if I don't know how what exactly happened, but I remember reading about that. I remember,
Yeah,
like,
and he went
it was
to-
really, it was
Yikes.
really like brutal.
It was
really
pretty dark,
sad.
and he went to jail for a while.
Whoa.
Like, he was like imprisoned in Europe.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember it was somewhere overseas. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
That's
I remember
crazy.
being,
Lamb
like,
of
really
God.
bad. Great
Joshua
band, but-
Kiesler versus Marilyn Manson in 2001.
I don't know who the first person is. Can I at least know who the first person is?
No, because that's important to the story. And you not knowing is fair.
This has something to do with school shootings.
No, this one's not very. Well, this one might be a little dark. It is a little strange.
Can
but
I have a
not that
time?
dark.
Can I just have a date?
2001. So,
Buzz.
go for it.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, don't too much stuff and not enough. Like it doesn't want to. It's too much, too scary, too spooky.
No, not
too spooky.
Too
Scott.
sexy. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Wait.
Give it a
Oh
try.
wait, was that already it? It was too sexy.
Oh yeah, he wore a
Never mind.
thong and then fake humped a security guard's head.
I'm
the security
too
guard-
sexy.
Failed, or the security guard sued him
Oh,
for sexual
no.
assault.
Ooh.
Well, he should be sued for
Sorry.
sexual assault, just not for that,
Yeah, correct.
but for all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Vanilla
I mean,
Ice versus Queen and David Bowie.
Oh,
Ah,
Celine.
Yes. Go
Oh wait,
Celine.
who's first?
That could have been a delay.
Oh,
And I'm
no,
right beside you.
What do you say?
It's kind of a
Joey?
tie.
Rochambeau for it.
No, that's also delayed. That doesn't work.
Oh,
You know what? Guess first. Go for it,
Okay.
Mike.
Is it the bass line to Under Pressure?
Yeah.
Literally the exact same thing.
He said he changed one note.
Yeah, he said
And that
that.
makes the song
I
different.
remember
Oh.
like a documentary. He was like,
The
no, listen."
video.
Like I don't remember where I watched it, but I remember like seeing something like it was Vanilla Ice literally being like, no, you see like Under Pressure goes like this, dun 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 dun, but my song goes dun 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 dun, and he was like completely convinced. Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw the
Completely
same
different.
video. It's on
I'm
you,
like-
and because he goes like, he's like, well, no, that's like dun 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 dun, dun and mine is dun 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 dun.
I'm like, all right, Vanilla Ice.
For the record, he lost that court case so
Oh.
bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just for the record,
They're like,
he-
you took
he
it.
ate shit on that. Absolutely.
Stop.
John Fogerty versus
Elaborate, yeah,
Fantasy Inc. in 1993.
Fogarty?
John Fogerty versus Fantasy Inc. in 1993.
Ska.
Go for it.
I think it had something to do with like that he like had to get like the rights back to his songs. Like, I remember hearing that somewhere. Like he didn't have the rights to like his songs, and there was like a whole big fight over it. I don't know if that's what that is.
Not quite.
Date.
1993.
The
Very
90s.
similar.
Interesting. What happened in the 90s? John Fogerty and Fantasy Inc. Is Fantasy Inc. a band?
So label.
It's a label. John Fogerty was in contract negotiations, and the contract that he was in with Fantasy Inc. was trying to screw him over. And so he didn't want to be screwed over. So he went after them for not wanting to be screwed over.
No.
He ate a bat.
Michelle, do you have a guess?
I don't know.
Well,
So they
I
claimed,
didn't either.
they claimed that John Fogerty's solo, because he's on a different label, sounded too much like CCR.
That's
And they
his
said
own
that they
fault.
have copyrights to the
To
CCR. But
Oh.
he went up on at the court case. He came up and played guitar and basically convinced them that no, I just write songs like that because I'm a human being.
Yeah, that's a very ridiculous case.
That's insane.
And so he won. He the Fantasy Inc. ate shit on that court case. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
as
want to
they
see
should.
the video to that, or the court drawing.
Yeah, the court trial.
or drawing of him just angrily playing his song. Like, listen.
I just imagine that everywhere John Fogerty is, he's got kelp hanging off of him, and there's a crocodile following
He's
him.
a merman,
No, he's just
a swamp,
a swamp
man,
merman, yeah.
a swamp man, merman.
Okay, one more. Two Live Crew versus Roy Orbison in 1990.
Ooh.
Live
Two
Crew.
Live Crew was
What are
suing
they-
Roy Orbison, or
No,
the
Roy
vice?
Orbison
Okay,
sued Two
I'm
Live
not
Crew.
familiar enough with either of
it's
those
got to be a
people.
Celine.
Yes.
It's got to be a sample.
Yeah.
Two Live Crew sampled a Roy
100%.
Orbison
Okay.
song without
100%.
permission.
Like
And Roy Orbison is from the 50s and 60s.
This
so they
is
thought
one
it
of
would be
those-
public
this is-
domain by that point.
this is one of the things that killed sampling in hip hop. It was one of the key
They're like, no,
elements.
you have to pay for it.
Well,
Well, sampling
also-
was so big in DJing.
Yeah, and so they were. This is one of those circumstances where they basically just took the song and
Mhm.
shoved it.
Which
in
one?
The Pretty Woman.
Mm.
Yeah, and they made it all sexual because it's Two Live Crew, and that was what they did. And they lost, and now sampling is really difficult in hip hop. You can't borrow big chunks of stuff.
They still do.
Interesting.
Well,
You just gotta pay for it.
The
Yeah,
exactly. Is it the
the Bomb Squad doesn't have much of a job anymore.
the whatever just like a white winged dove, that beginning is in
Yeah.
everything bootylicious.
It's because it's cheap. The reason why you see a lot of songs sampled a lot or in movies a lot is because they're inexpensive.
I've been thinking
Like Sweet Home
about
Alabama
doing
doesn't
an
cost a lot.
ICP
Interesting.
style band where you
Yeah.
just borrow beats and sort of rap over it, but it's all public domain, so it's all just she'll be coming around the mountain.
That was the exact song I thought.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh,
Like
she'll be
an
coming
STD
around the
like
mountain. Who's the winner?
Obviously, Megawave.
You know what, y'all? You tied her up 2
Oh.
points apiece.
Oh,
my goodness. Never in the history of
We
a
all
the show.
win.
Well, now that we started to keep score,
Yeah, this is the second time I've kept score.
yeah, we never keep score.
Rob doesn't keep score.
I
It's
can't
your
be-
dumb
I
little
can't be
game.
bothered. You cannot be bothered to keep score.
Oh, we haven't Ska'd
Well, at
Daddy.
least-
Oh, for Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got that.
Can you pull
that-
up a picture for me?
Yeah. Okay, he's got that hat. Do your
Ska'd
song.
Daddy, don't be saddy. Would you be my mommy or my daddy? Rate you on a scale of 1 to 10. Won't you please be my friend? Megawave is 10 out of 10 Ska'd Daddies, obviously. We
Oh,
all
thank
know
you.
that. We've seen them. We have eyes. We can look.
Hooray! We made the Ska, even though we're not
Oh,
the
he's a
Ska
little
adjacent
cutie.
daddy.
Is he playing a Gretsch? No, he's playing a Gibson hollow body. I don't know about the hollow body choice. He's very cute. He's very handsome. That's a 9.
He wears that hat all the time.
The fisherman's
That-
hat.
Yeah,
that
that's like
fisherman
his. That's like
is,
his hat.
signature.
He's a cutie.
Yeah.
He's a super cutie. He knows. He's very cute. He almost honestly, that's a 10. He's very cute.
Whoa.
He's very cute. Very cute. He kind of looks like he's got Joey vibes.
and he plays a mean guitar. He plays a git fiddle like nobody's business.
Is that a Gibson hollow body double cutaway?
He's. I feel like
I
he
don't-
always puts a hell of a-
It's a 335, I think.
I don't know what the hell you're all talking about. Something about guitars.
He's always got the big ass, the hollow bodies.
Yeah, he's
That's
the Chuck
Bill-
Berry guitar.
That's Billy
Yeah.
vibes.
Ready to answer some questions? Okay, so your question, Celine,
Questions.
was...
Did I say something?
Yeah, earlier you had kind of queued this up about Keys Be Nights. What is better?
Oh yeah.
You have to, somebody had said you have to ask this.
'Kay.
What's better, the Catch-22 version or the Streetlight version? Megawave, I'll let you chime in first before I say my
How do
opinion.
you feel about Keys Be Nights?
I feel I might sound like a poser, but I have not actually listened to the Catch-22 version all the way through. I just haven't. I don't know. I just never got around
so-
to it. So I feel like I remember I had it on my iPod. I had the Streetlight version because I had just all their music, and I remember listening to that one a lot. But I remember only listening to the Catch-22 version a little bit afterwards,
Like just
I
like to compare. So I feel like I'd say just the Streetlight, but that's just mainly just for what I just
That's the
have
one
been
you've heard.
listening to. That's just the one.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
feel like I
listening
listen
with.
to Streetlight more. I just like don't really recall the difference. Like I haven't like
fake
looked
fan.
into it. Yeah, I haven't put the time in to just like listen to both and be like, which one do I hate?
Yeah, I'm not as invested in the lore of the.
Yeah.
I like the
lore.
Catch-22 version one. I don't know when the last time I heard the Streetlight one was. That's me, unfortunately. I do like the Catch-22 one a lot. And the horns are completely different though in the
Are
Streetlight
they?
one. Yeah, they changed all the solos, but it's cleaner. You like that?
It is a
I
little
like the
cleaner.
rawness of the early one.
Little cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like a little dirt on the fingernails there.
I never like was super.
love
I only
grit.
like. Well, yeah, I never was super into like Catch-22 in general. There's just a couple songs.
Me
You
neither.
were a Catch-22.
Yeah,
bitch.
I was super. I think 9mm in a 3-piece suit was like one of the first ska songs I ever listened to. Period.
right.
And so I think that just has such a special place.
So you're
in
coming
my
from
heart.
a different place.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the song "Keys Be Nights" is just like, oof,
It is, yeah.
so good.
I'm coming from like the place of like going backwards. Like I got into Streetlight really heavy, and then I kind of I didn't even really get much into Catch-22. I kind of just like browsed over it, like, oh, this is his band beforehand.
Totally. Same.
I was like the going backwards into the lore.
I'm supposed to tell you, Diglo, that you're handsome.
Oh, that's from Ian.
Well,
Thank you, Ian. Now if he's listening to this,
Speaking
I
of when
appreciate it.
Diglo got knocked out during the Eichler set,
Oh, no, that was during Best of the Worst.
that was during Best of the Worst. That was Ian. Ian did it.
Oh no! he was-
They
we were moshing during. and then-
felt so bad.
but
They
then-
were
but
like,
then they
"Oh my
picked me up."
god, I can't believe I knocked Diglo out." And I was just like, "It's okay, he's fine. Don't worry about it."
It's okay. He's fine. Don't worry. That's hilarious.
Ian is our friend who actually crashed on this couch after that show.
Ska friends.
That
who
was one
knock
of
each
our.
other
We got,
out.
and then.
And then he came back and woke you back up off the stage,
And he-
off of the floor at the
And then
venue.
and then they brought me back to life.
kissed you gently on the head and said, "You're handsome."
You want me-
I'm gonna tell the
He's
world.
going to-
I'm gonna let the world know.
on the
I'll do
Checkered
it
Past
through
podcast.
Checkered Past.
Shh, don't worry about a thing.
They're so niche. Well, thanks for listening to Checkered Past. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Checkered Past Pod, or send us an email at checkeredpastpod@gmail.com to support the pod and get bonus content, including a full-length and unedited video of this episode. Sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/checkeredpast. We also have merch available at checkeredpast.ca. Checkered Past is edited by Ariane and engineered by Joey, who creates weekly playlists featuring music played on today's episode. Megawave. Thanks so much for joining us. This was super fun. What have you got to plug?
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're big fans of the podcast, and I'm glad Chris helped set this up. This was a lot of fun.
And
Yeah, thank you. We've been so looking forward to having you on.
Yeah, no
I know
kidding.
we've been interacting on the interwebs all the time, and now we can now we get to finally talk. It's a lot of fun, or just meet sort of in person, kind of.
Yeah.
in
At least visually.
visually. I guess what do we plug? We put out a record.
Twitch.tv/Megawave Makes Music. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is Mega Wednesday.
Yes, we have a Twitch
Woo.
show that we've had a lot of ska guests. That's how we've met a lot of our ska friends through there. Yeah, we have a Twitch show. We have interviews. We play requests. We have other performances from different bands from all over the country. And yeah, and we also put out our first.
album, Rainbow Heartache. You could listen to it everywhere.
And you
get-
should.
Yeah.
Do it.
Checkered Past approved.
It's Checkered
Do it
Past.
out.
Approved. It's not
Yes.
ska. It's a little ska. There's some ska influence.
Some Spotify thinks it's ska because all of our
Honestly, it's just it's
all
nice
of
to have
our-
a break from ska.
I'm glad that we were able to. Yeah, I feel like we have so many ska friends, and I feel like it's interesting how like Spotify thinks we're ska. Like all of our fans of it's all like it's like Tape Girl and Eichlers and Flying Raccoon Suit, which I guess makes sense. But
Which is a good
But
time.
But it does.
It is really
kinda-
cool.
But
At
it,
the same time.
but it does like I feel like people who like those bands do like your band.
that exactly
It does work.
which I love it. It's really cool. But yeah,
Mm.
if you're in the New York area, we're playing some cool shows coming up. We have a show with Best of the Worst at AMH. And we have an April 30th, and we have a show with Flying Raccoon Suit and Stuck Lucky and Stop the Presses in the city.
Fun.
Sweet.
On
Amazing.
March
May
20
May
May
27th.
May 27th. So yeah, for the New York area.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Gemini season.
and,
It
And,
will be Gemini
yeah.
season. Yeah.
and if you want, you can check out our album. It's available everywhere. You can get tapes on Broken Camera Records and CDs and merch and all that on our Bandcamp. And I think that's
Wonderful.
It. But yeah,
And thanks for spending a couple hours with us. This was a delight.
yeah, it's so
And
much fun.
until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Celine.
And in the immortal words of Streetlight Manifesto, a pox upon your house, upon your family, and everyone you ever knew and everyone you'll ever meet.
Boop.